Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon, and by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. And as always, thank you for all your support, including sharing, chatting, liking, and subscribing. Now roll that famous logo animation! Good evening, and welcome back to Computerized Start Live! I'm your host, Justin D. Morgan, and we have a show for you tonight. And by we, it's the corporate we. Except I have a few friends waiting for a particular segment here. And let's see here, who do we have in the chat? We have Dave's Vintage Apple Tech. Hi, Dave. We have Thomas Armstrong. Hi, Thomas. Thomas says, yeep, oops, beep. We have K-Mac Vintage. Hi, Will. We have MMU Man, and I'm still on this 486 motherboard at 3 a.m. Oh, hi, Francois. Yes. Yes, now we have Francois in the chat. We have Jeremy's Vintage App. Okay, I'm giving everyone new channel names. We have Jeremy's Vintage Apple Tech. We have Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack. Hi, Jeremy. All right, maybe I'll learn to read one of these days. And we have Gut Bomb. Hi, Gut Bomb. I am so glad you're here because, well, let's just get right into it. It's now time for, I think, everyone's favorite segment.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our favorite segment, Wheel of Regrets. Here's your host, Justin D. Morgan.
Hey, who comes up with these titles anyway?
Yes, and who do I have to blame for this package? Well, I'd like to blame Steve, but I'm pretty sure that it's actually my fault. Anyways, oh, well, it's upside down. Okay, now I know I have to handle this with care. Yes, and how do I get these wonderfully, regretfully things? Oh, it's that coffee tip jar thing right there, and the link's in the description. And I really didn't need to buy this, but interestingly enough, this came ground advantage, and I believe I bought this like Tuesday morning, and this came from Idaho. I quite honestly think this got mixed up in a bunch of priority mail packages because I don't know how it got from Idaho to Virginia in like 2 days by ground advantage. Unless this is not what I think it is, but it should be. eBay told me it was delivered today. So what do we have in here? We have, all right, we have hybrid packing material. We have paper that looks used, and we have bubble wrap. All right, well, I'm going to leave the paper right where it came from. Yeah, came back vintage. Guessing Trident card. Well, I might wish I'd bought a Trident card, potentially. Oh, and we have foam as well. What do you know? It's the packing trifecta. Paper, bubble wrap, and foam. Dave says it's a potato. K-Mac just realized it's too big. It's a motherboard. Jeremy says, that's not enough bubble wrap. Well, you're probably right. All right. Are you all ready to see what this motherboard is? I needed this, like, probably not, but there we go. We have a motherboard. And a floppy adapter doodle. Alright, now I'll let you all stare at this for a moment. And Jeremy has guessed and locked in his answer, and K-Mac has guessed and locked in an answer. And they're both wrong, although Jeremy's closer. Nope. 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 We're getting technical here. It's got a V20 on it. Yes. So, why am I blaming Steve for this purchase? Well, Capcom's asking, am I planning on following up with that industrial single-board computer anytime soon? Probably. I could probably be convinced to do it. Jeremy says still 8088 compatible. Yeah, but I was being technical. So, how much did this contraption cost me? This is probably the crazy thing. You would probably expect that a motherboard like this could cost $999.99. Listening to some Facebook groups like exceedingly overpriced vintage electronics, but no, you would be wrong. I didn't pay $99.99 or even $89.99 or even $79.99. I didn't even pay. Okay, I'm getting tired of counting down. K-Mac Vintage almost nailed it before shipping. Dave's guessing $5.99. K-Mac guessed $10. No, K-Mac, you were actually under. I like these guessing games. We'll see if anyone guesses it. Anyways, it looks like it has, I think, 512 megs of RAM on it. Because, interestingly enough, I found this board on the retro web. We'll pull it up in a moment. K-Mac Vintage says, dang, the 99999 was no clue. No, it wasn't. No, that was me making fun of the I know what I have, no spoiler! Oh, did I say 512 megabytes? Oops, I meant 512 kilobytes. 8088 can't address more than a megabyte. 8088 servers existed, Will says. I can't imagine that, because they'd be able to access a megabyte, short of having expanded memory. Which is probably how they did it. That's kind of a scary thought. Oh. Was a question, not a statement. Ah, okay. I don't know if 8088 servers existed. I don't know. Anyways, I think this was like $12.99. It was like one of those prices where I didn't think about it much. Not that I really needed a... Oh, no, it was $12 even. Not that I really needed it, but let's pull this up on the retro web. Then you'll probably see why I decided to buy it for $12. But I did manage to find it. Alright, here we go. And now you'll probably see why I'm blaming Steve. Can't recall lowest CPU could run Novell, K-Max says. Jeremy says it would have required 512 CPUs. I don't know what the lowest requirements for Novell were either. Alright. Wrong one! I don't know how I hit the wrong button because I don't know. But I found this motherboard on the RetroWeb. It is an unknown XT12. It says on the RetroWeb it has a 12 megahertz front side bus. And, well, actually, we'll zoom in on something on this board. That might actually be correct. Even though it looks like it's an 8 megahertz CPU. Too many buttons, Jeremy says. Yeah, Dave says, I hate when I do that. K-Max says, Novell ran on 8086 and on 68,000. All right. But, note, the RetroWeb has no BIOSes for this board. But luckily, they have jumper settings. Boy, do they have jumper settings. So, we have a board here that is not properly documented on the RetroWeb. And it had a V20 processor on it, which, quite honestly, could be worth the $12 right there. Yeah, Jeremy says we need to dump that BIOS before going any further. Yes. That's kind of what I was thinking. I believe that's going to be U15 here. So let's, So let's do what I normally do when I have a board I need to document. So I'm going to take a few photos of the board. Before I pull this chip out, because I think I'm going to have to remove the label to see what kind of chip it is. Let me take a picture of the label. And all right. So I got an archival picture of the. Well, Jeremy, I will try to pull the label partially, but you probably know how even when you are trying to be oh so careful and pull the label partially, it can like just rip. Or you'll never get it stuck back down. The RetroWeb. Okay, the reason why we're looking at the bottom of the board is because I just remembered before I start with this board, the RetroWeb is going to ask for a picture of the bottom of the board as well. They are quite thorough when it comes to documenting boards. So let me go ahead and do this before I potentially do something that okay, that is an interesting pattern on the dust. Well, I'll have to dust that off. I can't use heat, Jeremy, because I have a refrigerator on the circuit. Heat would probably cause me to trip a breaker. I wish I had another circuit down here in the basement. Well, unfortunately, the BIOS type is not there. Because normally, at least for EPROMs, I'd be reading the text there. Jeremy, there's no adhesive left on this label. It's not going to stick to the blade. My best hope is to try to get it off without ripping it. I will have to use some double-sided tape to put the label back on if I can get it off carefully enough. Because this is just a paper label. I still don't have enough off to see what kind of chip it is. Maybe I can get the other side. No. Jeremy says it's a 27C128. I was hoping to see what brand it was, too. Yeah, but yeah, that must be what it is. Alright, well, I'll probably will have to remove the label the rest of the way to put it back down on it. But at least that's enough for me to try to read it. Actually, I'm kind of wondering if it's possibly not a 27. I'm thinking it might be could it be a 28? Because I don't think it's an EEPROM. I think it might be an EEPROM or maybe a PROM. Yeah, I'm thinking it might actually be a 28. But I don't think my software supports that, so I'm going to have to read it as a 27C and turn off the check ID. So let's read it. Oh, okay. Well, it looks like we've got 8088 BIOS revision. 8088 BIOS EV1603. Revision X203. 1989. I mean, it looks like we did. Okay, it looks like we got a good readout. We got a date at the end. Alright, there's some BIOS errors, some more BIOS errors. Oh, so I was kind of wondering if maybe this was like a Phoenix BIOS or an AMI BIOS. Oh, there we go. AMI. This is an AMI BIOS. Cool. Alright, well that 0 area is probably a 0 area. Alright, cool. So it looks like this board is running an early AMI BIOS. Jeremy says AMI was really common. Alright. So, before I could do anything silly with this board, I am going to save it here. So this is XT12 BIOS. And it said it was 8088 BIOS EV1603 parentheses HK revision X203. All right. Probably is a late 8088 BIOS. After all, the board does have its quirks and features. After all, if you'll note, after I put the BIOS chip back in, it has a VLSI chipset, which is probably an exact replica of the discrete logic on an IBM XT. There is probably nothing different. Now, there is a little bit of discrete logic here, and it looks like this is probably a PAL, probably for memory addressing. Looks like someone got a little aggressive with the screw there, but luckily that's just a copper ground plane. Now, the reason why I think this may actually be a 12 megahertz board is because I think that might be a 14 megahertz crystal. Although, that appears to only be an 8 megahertz V20. Jeremy says 8088 PCs in the late 80s were the, quote, value systems. Well, I would know that all too well, Jeremy. After all, I have 2 Emerson 8088 computers, which were probably sold at places like Kmart. That definitely screams value to me, or at least cheap. Alright, so let's see if we've got any shorts here, because there are a few tantalum capacitors on the board. Alright, so no shorts, no shorts, no shorts, no shorts. Those are all common. No short, no short, no short. I do believe we are free to plug this in and tempt the tantalum capacitors further. All right, so we have our standoff. Oh, Captain Tape. We have it's been so long since I've used my ATX AT adapter. I don't know where it is. Hold one moment while I move a few keyboards out of the way because my ATX to AT adapter should be here on my bench. How do I get stuff so tangled up on this bench? I wasn't quite expecting this to be delivered today, or I probably would have tried to take a better opportunity to find the power adapter. Alright, so maybe I'm just going to have to find an AC power supply. Da-da-da-da. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I found an AT power supply. It's got a note on it that says I lubricated the fan. So that probably means that it worked last time I used it. There we go. There's that. Here. There's no use in plugging in a postcard because the system most likely will not generate postcodes because that was, I think, a thing for 286 and later. But then again, I mean, there are some XT boards that actually do generate postcodes, so I don't know where my postcard went. All right, so I got the Emerson keyboard, and because you all will probably would be disappointed if I didn't find it. Static tags, untested, oh, there it is. All right, what better way to test an eBay regret than a Trident video card? Only the best around here. All right. All right, so let's see here. So the smart outlet is turned off at the moment. Therefore, I can plug the power supply in. The power supply is switched on. You have table cam for the best in viewing experience. All right. Fire in the hole in 3, 2, 1. Hey, no sparks. That's a good sign. Oh, 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 oh. Hey, oh, a keyboard error. How quaint. Keyboard error? Come on, computer. You don't know what you're talking about. That is my best keyboard that supposedly has an XT mode. Press F1 to resume. Gutbomb says the stream died for me twice, like it ended. It showed a card for whatever video it was going to show me next and then redirected me to it. YouTube is certainly having a time. Well, yeah, that must be YouTube because I got a good connection up. And, well, I can't show you much about this keyboard because much about this motherboard because this keyboard didn't cooperate and switched to XT mode. So let me go grab my keyboard that actually has an XT mode. Oh wait, you know I'm not gonna be able to show you much. Oh, it's Retro Tech or Die. Hello, welcome, Michael. Mike. All right. There we go. Now, hopefully it sees this keyboard. We have 512K of memory and a keyboard error. I think I'm quickly seeing why I got this for $12. Alright, is this keyboard in XT mode? No, it is not. Well, that would probably explain why I got a keyboard error. Alright, one more time. This keyboard is now in XT mode. And we still have a keyboard error. Well, okay, well, I guess we're not doing much of anything else with this XT computer tonight. Well, I mean, at least I think the keyboard controller is a discrete component. That's at least good. Alright, so let me double check that is the keyboard controller. EP8473. That is a... No, that is not a keyboard controller. That is the floppy controller. Ooh, that's not a good sign. You know, I hope the YouTube chat is not misbehaving. Alright, let me bring up the YouTube chat on a... We'll get to the next regret entry probably next, because I don't think there's much more I'm going to be able to do for this motherboard tonight. Alright, let me go to the control room, and I think my chat died in OBS, so it's a good thing I pulled open the chat in Firefox. So I guess I will have the extra workload of paying attention to a window behind a window. Yay! Alright, so the motherboard. It's oh good. Maybe my chat didn't die in OBS. Well, it looks like it might have issues, so yay for that. Or maybe it's just a cold solder joint on the keyboard controller. Anyways, this is Wheel of Regrets, not Fix the Regrets. So I guess the regret score on this one is the CPU would have cost me $12. Alright, further repair required. I guess that's the regret score. Alright, and now for the next and last regret for the evening, which I certainly hope that YouTube doesn't misbehave on Gut Bomb, because I think Gut Bomb is, well, Gut Bomb is the one that is the person that found this item. And, well, before I pull the box on the workbench, I think we have an important commercial break here to set the mood.
Why buy just a video game from Atari or Intellivision? Invest in the wonder computer of the 1980s for under $300. The Commodore VIC-20. Unlike games, it has a real computer keyboard. With the Commodore VIC-20, the whole family can learn computing at home. Plays great games, too. Under $300, the wonder computer of the 1980s, the Commodore VIC-20.
Coming soon, Commodore brings you Gorf, the Wonder Arcade game, and Omega Race in home versions. Commodore.
And I'm sure you all thought I was going to play the other video. Alright, so let's open up this ridiculous box here. It is a custom packing job by the seller. It's quite exquisite. Jeremy says I had mute at the ready. Yeah, well, I figured when you saw the size of the box that it probably wasn't going to be much use in disguising what it was. Gutbum says, I thought it was going to be a Mad Dog thing, but now I know what it is. Yes. So, Gutbum found this on eBay, and I took one for the potential regret purchase, so that at least someone who would appreciate this would have it for a while. Well, if I can get it out of the box. All right. Let's see if I can get it out of the box. Without tearing the inner box. All right, there we go. And for the record, I know that you all know that I bought a VIC-20 at the swap meet. I had already purchased this before the swap meet, which is why I really wasn't wanting to buy a VIC, but I kept staring at the one that Sean had, and yeah. So I already had this one on the way. While I was at the swap meter. Jeremy's saying, that's the pet keyboard? Question mark. Well, yes, that is the pet keyboard pictured on the box. Got Mom's asking, how many VICs now? I think I have 4. An original one that's got color issues. A revised edition that has a broken keyboard. A Action Retro edition, even though I don't think Action Retro did those mods to it. And now, drum roll please. Gutbump says we need to have an intervention. No, this is the last VIC-20. It's the last one. All right. Jeremy says, come on, Justin. Some of us might want to buy one. Yeesh. Retrotecher Die says, or an interviction. All right. And it looks like the seller didn't bait and switch or anything. Yes. It's the pet keyboard VIC-20. That is why I now don't need any more VIC-20s. Oh no. The case is kind of cattywampus. Oh! Welcome, Heather. I have a subscriber. Well, it looks like the case kind of... I'm going to open it up to put the case back together. Jeremy says those are going up to $800 now for some ungodly reason on eBay now. Well, Jeremy, I'm watching another one that has a buy it now price of I'm watching it just because I'm curious if it sells. I am not buying it. But it hasn't budged at all at its list price. And I'm trying to find it on my watch history here. Except, of course, that I added a bunch of stuff after I managed to find it because I've got computers I need parts for, like K-Pro keycaps and stuff. Let's see here. I wasn't even looking for it, and I found it. Oh, yeah, the starting bid is $300. It's actually going to end here in about 4.5 hours. No one's bid on it. Buy it now price is $800. Oh, wait a minute. I thought the buy it now price was $500 on it. Now the buy it now price is $800? Did they increase the buy it now price? Or maybe I'm forgetting what it was. No, I don't see eBay marking that the listing has been edited. Okay, maybe I forgot the... Maybe I forgot what the buy it now price was. I am actually the only person watching this auction. 7 people have viewed it in the last 24 hours. I'm the only one watching it according to eBay. And I'm not paying even $300 for it. So, there. There we go. Yeah, the seller didn't mark this as pet keys. So, you had to actually go look at the photos. You know, I think a couple of the keys are actually maybe a little bit crooked on this one. Maybe it's a quirk of the keyboard. Anyways, I think we'll open it up to make sure everything is okay, and then we'll power it up. Because this is Wheel of Regrets, and Capcom says this is the Vic I had as a kid. Didn't know it was special until later. Announcing Home and Educational Computing, the resource magazine for the VIC computer from the publishers of Compute. Please send me the first 3 quarterly issues for $5. Please send me the first issue at $2. I already own a blank computer. I don't yet own a computer but want to learn more about them. I expect to buy a VIC computer. Maybe I should fill this out and send it in, and with my $5 for the 1981 quarterly issues. Yeah, your Retro Tech or Die says, I would like to learn more about computers. Oh, wow, we got a Commodore VIC-20 price list effective October 1981. And the registration card. Ooh, I better mail that in right away to Commodore Business Machines in Norristown, Pennsylvania. Attention, VIC Products Warranty Registration. I want my 90-day warranty. In October 1981, this VIC-20 was $299.95. So I guess William Shatner didn't lie to us. That is under $300 until you add tax. The data set was $75. The VIC 1540 disk drive was $599. Ouch. The VIC graphic printer $395. Wow. There you go. Anyone just wants to see what some of the other prices are? There's some games. I guess if you're watching this later, you can pause it and take a look at the prices you want to see. These are the October 1981 price list for the VIC-20. Oh, there we go. if you remember those tapes I bought the other day, I think I ended up getting both of these tape packs. They were $59.95 each when they were new. Ow. So there you go. There's the price list. Jeremy says, 90-day warranty 43 years later from a dead company. I can see how that might work. Not. Yeah, Gut Bomb's reminding us that was in $1981. Yes. All right. Well, the styrofoam box has gotten all over the cords. I'm not even going to use these cords. Oh, cool. It's I'm not falling for that. That's not computer. All right, let's set the styrofoam off to the side here. We're going to use a tested power brick, but after I open this up to inspect for damage, because the case is a bit, looks like the case might have hit in shipping or got bumped in shipping or something. Jeremy says, I have one of those that is Commodore branded. Gutpalm says, those cassette bundles come out to $207 each in today's money. Jeremy says, the case is slightly borked. Yeah. All right, well, yeah, I want to inspect this just a little bit before I power it up, just in case. This case is in, like, really great shape, though. This thing is clean. I quite honestly think that someone bought this back in the day and they might have used it a little bit. Because the power brick and all those cables look like they'd been unwound. So I don't think this was, like, brand new. Oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah. There's, something amiss in this VIC-20, and I hope the keyboard didn't get affected. We're not powering this thing up today. Yeah, there's... Well, there's the keyboard. I'm thinking I might have to take it apart. There's some rust on one of the screws. But that's not the worst thing I saw. I wasn't aware that memory chips got fuzzy with age. I do not know what is going on there. But this looks like it got water in it at some point. Yeah, that is gross. That is quite gross. I should have known, I didn't comment at the time, I should have known when there was a little rust on that one screw that that was a harbinger of things to come. Jeremy says, that's corrosion from moisture. Trust me, I know. Yeah, I hope that's not what it is, Gut Bomb. I don't know that I'm going to plug this in. Yeah, that's kind of gross. Okay, I am somewhat curious. I mean, I guess we might plug it in. But I can tell you one thing. I'm pulling the VIC chip out, at least at first. I'll try to scrape some of that corrosion off too. Alright, where's the magical chip lifter? What did I do with it? It's my magical chip lifter. It likes to disappear when I need it. Oh, it was right in front of me. Never mind. Disclaimer, it has no actual magical abilities. It's just me overlooking it. Uh, Gutbomb says, watch it be soldered. Yeah, well, if it's... watch the lid be, like, rusted on. Alright, I don't... I'm trying to get something under the lid that'll pry it up without mangling it. Maybe my, oh, there we go. There we go. I used my needle nose pliers to try to carefully get a little bit. Now maybe I can, yeah, they really didn't want you to get in under the FCC shield. Oh, hey, Jesse. Well, we've got a Pet Keys style VIC-20 here that the memory kind of looks a bit fuzzy on. I was going to power it up, but I was kind of wanting to inspect the VIC-20 first, but I can't get the lid off of it. Well, we might just go full send here after I see if any of that will come off. All right, we'll see if that comes off and it doesn't look like the traces are bad, then maybe. Otherwise, we'll get to the... No, actually... Okay. That Jesse says on the bright side, I can stay up a little later. Cool. That's cool. All right, well, at least the... whatever it is like, coming off. So maybe that was recent corrosion, maybe? Okay, I guess it might be worth trying. All right, so I'm gonna plug video in here. That should be video there. All right, and let's see. I should have the VIC-20 power brick still here because I was just about to move it off the workbench to give myself a little more space for the IBM, and then I realized, no, I kind of need it. So, all right, there we go. We've got power. All right, I'm going to turn the smart outlet on. That's on. But the VIC-20 is off. All right. 3, 2, 1. All right, we have power to it, and we have I can't believe it. Okay, I think the colors are slightly wrong. Remember, my scaler plays tricks. We've got a working VIC-20, despite the fact that moisture tried its darndest. All right. Well, I guess there's only one thing to do here. Put some contact cleaner on the keyboard cable. Let's plug it back in. All right. Okay, 3, 2, 1. All right, we got power LED. And we have keys that we got keys that are not working. Oh. I think we have some corrosion on one of the CIAs. Jeremy says, whatever you paid Justin, it looks like you scored a good deal. Capcom says, I hope you paid less than they were asking when I saw the auction. I'm not going to comment. Ooh, yeah, that 6522 is like stuck in the socket. Oh yeah, that 6522 has some crusty pins. That might explain the keyboard's behavior. Something tells me I may be replacing that socket. Something tells me I might be ordering some new 6522s from Western Design Center. Yes, they do still make a version compatible with the... Jeremy says, C64 keyboard will work as a replacement, by the way. I wouldn't change those keycaps because they are beautiful. Why would I? I don't want to change anything about this keyboard. It's a Pet Keys keyboard. Okay, we still have a problem with the keyboard. Let's swap the CIAs. Because actually, I don't know which one's connected to the keyboard. Ah, okay, the other CIA has better looking legs. So, yeah, Jeremy says the 65C22 is pin compatible, but you have to get the right version of it. And I hope you realize I'm not looking at data sheets and I don't have data sheets memorized. So maybe you just gave me the one that is, because they're, yeah, there's one that they make that'll work in an old computer and one that they make that won't. And I don't remember if it's a pin change difference or what. All right. Something tells me I'm going to have to take the keyboard apart and clean it. Oh, okay. It's the one that has the S at the end. Jeremy's reminding me. Actually, there's many keys that aren't working. Okay, well, it looks like this is going to be on a repair stream sometime because keys are not working. And I want to get to the IBM because that's the item I featured in the thumbnail. Not that I couldn't be convinced to try to fix a VIC-20, but I would like to maybe get paid for fixing the IBM sometime soon. And to do that, I gotta finish it. I mean, if I had enough people really say, you know, we should fix the VIC-20 tonight, I could be convinced to change my mind, but, well. Gutbomb says VIC-20, 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 VIC-20. Okay, I'll have to change the thumbnail, but alright. VIC-20 it is. Gutbomb says, although you do need to get paid to offset the financial hit of all these VIC-20s. Yeah, that is the thing. I mean, I could always work on the... Yeah, I'd better get to the IBM. Oh, hey, Jamie, welcome. I just tested a potential eBay regret. Its eBay regret score is, I don't want to admit how much I paid for it until I get it working. How's that for a brutally honest regret score? Of course, now Gut Bomb probably knows how much I paid for it. But don't worry, Gut Bomb, I did not pay the full amount in shipping. We at least had some sensibilities there. In the eBay listing, the shipping on this thing was like $75. I didn't pay $75 in shipping. Jeremy says eBay regrets are just new toys. Yes. The thing is, though, in case... Gut Bomb says, yeah, shipping alone was more than I would have paid for the whole thing. Yeah. In case anyone's wondering how clean the outside of this case is, considering how damp it is inside, just for a comparison here. Here's the VIC-20 I bought from Action Retro that's yellowed. So it's hard to see on my preview monitor, but maybe it's showing up better on your side. But I'm hoping you can see that there is definitely a color difference there. Yeah, this VIC-20 looks... The case is in fantastic condition. Yep, says you have all three keyboard variants now. Yes, I do. Vborg. Hello, Vborg. Tim is here. Have I played Omega Race yet? No, I haven't. That's my treat for getting one of these fully working. All right. Let's get the IBM on the bench. Because actually, the thing about the IBM is, so I'm charging $60 for the repair, but I also ordered the upgrades we're going to add to it, and I told my coworker that they could just pay me for everything when it's delivered. So, therefore, it would be really nice to get this back to them so that I can get the, see, I think the boards I ordered from TexElec were $50 and like, I think one was $49.99 and the other was, actually maybe they were about the same. Anyways, Jesse says at this rate, eBay regrets will need its own series. Yeah. Jeremy says, not computer related, but this item has yet to procure any bids. Yeah, Jesse's noticing there's only 5 likes and we're an hour in. I'm not bidding on that, Jeremy. I'm not falling for that. I'd have to go pick that up from wherever that is. They don't even bother to put a state. Besides, unlike some states, the state of Virginia would tax me on the full price of that. Oh, it's Illinois. No, I'm not gonna buy a car from Illinois. All right, so where we left off last week is I got the computer recapped, and we ran out of time, so I wasn't able to test it. In fact, I didn't even get flux cleaned off the board, so I don't think there's really any on the top side of the board. I saw a little bit on the top side of the board. I think it's all on the bottom side. I think I got a little on the top side of the board while handling it, probably. So the first thing is, Viborg says, hey, I got one of those boards. Good old IBM. Jeremy's pointing out it's north of Rockford, Illinois, which Jesse says that explains the rust. And Viborg's reminding us there is no copying permitted of this board. Therefore, that's why this eBay regret board I showed, see, it's not a copy, it's too short. Despite the fact that VLSI chip is probably a direct copy of IBM's discrete logic, but, well, that's beside the point. Jeremy says, the seller is a YouTuber. Well, if I started collecting all the cars YouTubers were selling, I'd be broke. Way sooner than I would be buying eBay regrets at $12 a pop. I draw the line. Steve Jobs has to have signed the car. Then maybe we'll talk. Maybe if Woz signed it, but he'll sign anything, so therefore I'd have to think about it really hard. Gutbomb says, the fact that it's a YouTuber is going to get at least a little bit of a price bump at the end for the prestige when it's really just junk. I mean, maybe if I could take it to Rusted Rides, which is a YouTube channel, but that would require me to take it across the border to Canada, and I don't know. I don't have a passport. Although, at least if I'm picking it up in Illinois, I'd be most of the way there. Jamie, I think, is agreeing with that, yeah. Jeremy says, today I found a 1990 Pontiac Sunbird convertible for sale at $750 local. That seems a bit high, maybe. Or then again, well, oh, that car's an antique now. Okay, I'm old. Besides, if I buy a minivan, I now want a Chevy Lumina APV because the thing looks like a dust buster. Then I could at least try to tell people, hey, didn't you see it in the movie Back to the Future? Jamie says, if you can get a car that runs and goes straight and stops for $750, not bad. Jeremy says it needs some minor work. All right, so there we go. The board is now at least defluxed. I'm thinking that I will at least make sure that all the chips are seated while I got the board out. Because to test this, I'm going to put it back in the chassis. Unless someone can confirm that there's XT boards that there's no difference between XT and AT power. Actually, I don't think there is. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was like the Pontiac Transport. Yeah, Jeremy's confirming. Okay, we'll test it outside the board first because we have the technology. All right. Where's my? Yeah, I just realized all the clone manufacturers copied IBM, so that would include the power supply. So yeah, of course. It dawned on me. I just tested an XT clone board with this power supply, so of course the IBM one is. They all just copied IBM. So we definitely, I am, except the fact that the clips on this are weird. There we go. All right, black goes in the middle. Otherwise, I'll have a sad. So there we go. Black's in the middle. All right, I will use my smart outlet to turn the power supply on and off, or at least on the first time. All right, so we're going to plug this in. I guess for the initial test, I can put a Trident card in so that I don't have to go get the PGA card. All right, I will use the German keyboard because I know it is in XT mode. All right. And, all right, testing the IBM in 3. Whoops. That was embarrassing. I flubbed my own countdown. Jesse said, yeah, everyone's talking about vacuum cleaners, and Jesse had to add, broken vacuums can be fixed with Dallas Cowboy stickers. Some of my family will enjoy that, Jesse, so that's why I decided to read that one on air. I think the 601 error is probably floppy drive. Oh, looky there. Okay, remember, I am looking at a German keyboard. Yes, it hasn't exploded. I am staring at a German keyboard. The key I am looking for is not in the same place on a German keyboard. Uh, Actually, Gut Bomb, what I need is a non-German XT keyboard. I thought stop was Control C. I mean, sometimes I think I could use a non-German AT keyboard too, because my Emerson keyboard misbehaves. But what I really could use is a non-German XT keyboard because my Emerson keyboard works most of the time on AT. But the only computer it really reliably switches to XT mode properly on is my Emerson 8800EC, which is an XT class computer. And it's probably the computer that the XT Auto Switch was designed against. Okay, so the IBM board successfully recapped. It powered up. It didn't explode. And then I wasn't able to stop the basic program because I don't know why, but, well, it didn't explode. So, yay. Oh, you know, why am I doing all this? Let's go ahead and check the upgrades before I put them in the case. Let me go grab the cards. Okay, so for this IBM Portable Personal Computer, all right, have a good evening, Tim. I recommended a couple of upgrades to my coworker, and they agreed to two of them. So let me open the. I didn't even open the TexElec box. So, what are the two upgrades? So, please. I know that if this was your computer, you might have done something different. If this was my computer, I would have maybe done something different. But this is my coworker's computer, and I respect their upgrade decision. I don't think there's any wrong answers. Anyways, so this is a 256 kilobyte system board. Not megabyte if I've accidentally slipped the wrong unit of measure in, 256 kilobyte. So the first upgrade is the low-tech 1 megabyte RAM board. So I will need to configure this for the memory ranges that we need to disable on the XT. It looks like it's pre-configured for all the memory pages enabled, I believe, except the ROM. Yeah, it looks like the high memory area is enabled. So I need to turn off the first 4 switches, and then this should be good. Because basically each one of these first 10 switches are 64K. So that should be configured for bringing this up to 640K. Now, I may look to see what ranges are in use after we're done, and I may turn on the more switches for the upper memory area. Some programs can take use of that, but at the moment, for testing, we'll just enable 640K. And the second one And this may be a case of where I may upgrade firmware, and I'm going to have to grab a compact flash card. But an XTCF Lite was the other upgrade. So that at least my coworker's family can enjoy this without having to use floppy disks. So let me go ahead and put the VGA card back in for testing. I'll have to grab the GoTech to install DOS. So, all right. Oh, and I guess I need the keyboard again. Well, actually, I don't need the keyboard at the moment. I just want to make sure we see 640K of RAM. So for that, I don't need keyboard. I just need power. All right. Thomas says 20 megabyte spinning, more fun and adds weight. Oh, we have a 301 error, whatever that is. Oh, do I have to change jumpers on the... I bet I got to change jumpers on the system board for RAM. Jesse says, and authenticity. Well, she wants her kids to be able to enjoy it, so we're going for a little less authenticity so that the kids can just like more directly play games and maybe have more of them on the system. Thomas says, don't worry about 301 error. Oh, that's probably because I didn't plug the keyboard in. Yeah, I didn't plug the keyboard in. Okay, we see 640K of RAM. That's good. Oh, I guess I am probably going to have to plug the keyboard in so I can press F1 so that I can see if the XTIDE initializes. Yep, that was keyboard. Okay, so that's floppy controller. Ah, there we go. I don't have a compact flash card in it, so it's not going to find anything. All right, let me... Okay, let me find my compact flash cards. Oh, wait. Nope. They are... there. And I think I'm going to install... probably... DOS. I'm torn whether I should do DOS 622 or DOS maybe 3.3. I'm leaning towards DOS 622 just because it's the easiest to manage to find. And all right, I got a 128 meg compact flash card. Make sure it detects. Does I should probably find a GoTech and maybe we'll go ahead and format DOS. Okay, that is not going to boot because that not be bootable. All right. So I guess the next cards. So we've got the floppy controller. And the CGA card. So I'm going to remove the Trident card. Thank you for your service, Trident card. It is no longer needed tonight. I also need to move my roll of Captain tape because the CGA card has changed the center of gravity for this motherboard. Okay, I also have my RGB to HDMI, and I went ahead, I thought I was having trouble with it. I went ahead and updated firmware on it. And let's see if I can't go ahead and set it to well, that's weird. So I'm changing the RGB to HDMI to CGA, and I'm sparing you all the flickering from doing it. So if you'll hold on just a moment. Apparently the profiles are not in alphabetical order for some reason. CGA Samsung, CGA IBM Old. I think that's the one I want. Okay. All right, let's see if there we go. We have an image. Okay, that's good. I think that means I successfully recapped the CGA card. And okay, I think with that, so I don't have a floppy cable that's got the correct end on it to use this floppy controller with a GoTech. I'm going to have to put this back in the case because the ribbon cable's running through the case. So I think at least for this part, where I just wanted to make sure everything was working before I put it back in the case, that appears to be the case. And actually, I think we could have just a little bit more. Let's, because I think the CGA card hasn't done it much in its life, being in an IBM Portable. Let's go to, the composite mode output. I'm just curious. I mean, it should theoretically work. There we go. Wow, it looks so much different on composite output than the RGB to HDMI precise digital output. That's good. All right. I don't think I need to belabor that. All right. So it looks like all these cards are working. So let's start putting this back in the chassis. And we'll go from there. All right. So yeah, this is great. So now this IBM Portable Personal Computer has a new lease on life. These tantalum capacitors should be good for probably at least the next 20 years, hopefully. They are 25 volt rated, so they're going to be less likely to fail due to being under spec. I mean, they will eventually fail, but hopefully the family will get plenty of enjoyment out of them. And, well, here's to the next 20 to 40 years before the next person recaps this wonderful machine. And maybe, just maybe, someday I'll find an IBM Portable Personal Computer for myself at a price I'm willing to pay. Sometimes they do go for what I call silly money. After all, I just did buy, like, more VIC computers than most people own. So, yeah, there we go. Intel 8088 and math coprocessor. So we're not gonna put a V20 in it, but we are doing the RAM upgrade just so that more games are playable, and then the solid state storage is just so you can run things with without having to. Um, and Jesse says, and almost the world's supply of Emerson computers. Oh, hey Jack, welcome everyone. Hey everyone in the chat. Yes, I don't know. Maybe I might figure out a price to offer Garrett for that computer, but given its symptoms that Jesse tagged me in a photo of an Emerson computer that Garrett has, and it won't post. So it's kind of one of those, a little high for not posting, but we'll see. Maybe he still has it next month. Maybe I'll make an offer. I did just buy a bunch of stuff at the swap meet this past weekend. All right, let's grab this chassis. Start putting these cards in. Ah, Jesse says he might give me a sweet deal on it too if it's still there. All right. That's how we, when there's something that I want, but it's not quite in the condition that I was hoping it's in, the tactic of wait. Because I'm kind of afraid it could be a problem with the motherboard on that Emerson computer. And then there's the thing of shipping to from where it is to me. So, all right. So first, I got to remember how there's a clip. Oh, welcome to the channel as a subscriber. Um, all right. Um, Garrett is in the Fox cities of Wisconsin. Yep. Fun fact. I have a Wisconsin Badgers Snuggie because my uncle was clearing out some of my aunt's stuff. So I guess he had a crate of stuff at Thanksgiving. So I snagged the Snuggie, Wisconsin Badgers. So I think she was from somewhere in Wisconsin. It was some um Bitcoin mining channel. So yeah, I didn't quite it was didn't quite catch the channel name. But anyways, yeah. Um yeah, so we'll continue putting this together. I can find you know, it would help if I got my iFixit set. It's here somewhere. Well, it was here somewhere. Oh, there it is. All right. There we go. There's that. And I guess I gotta. There's like this weird clip underneath the floppy drives. And then I gotta put the standoffs back on the board. Yeah, I like the copper look of the board too. Yeah, I always like the way these old boards look. Like IBM. You know, I don't know if they had green solder masks back then. Actually, it would be interesting to know when green solder mask came out. Although maybe there was. Maybe IBM just used this solder mask because it looks more premium, especially if they were trying to differentiate it from the consumer computers. Uh, I don't know. It could be that they used green because maybe it was cheaper. I know if you get PCBs made now, green is like one of the cheaper options. Kind of wondering if maybe green was cheaper back then too. All right, so we got the board in. Now I got to figure out which screws are for the. All right, so I think this blue screw is the one that. I think the blue screw is the one that screws this motherboard clip in on the front. I think. Thomas Armstrong says, oh. All right, so we have Octua Lunar Crypto Mining, who is currently suffering the 2-week penalty to change their channel name back because, as they say, didn't realize I'd be stuck for 2 weeks. Found your channel because it was suggested and awesome to see a rare 5155. Well, welcome to the channel. These old machines are a work of art. My first one was IBM 5150, then 5160. Yes. So, yep, I am trying to get this one back together. I've oh wait, maybe these are the screws I need. Never actually seen one of these not live. Well, I'm putting this one back together. It has been recapped. So the the motherboard, the CGA card, and the floppy controller, because IBM used some infamous capacitors. And I just bench tested the cards outside the case, so now I'm putting them back in. And I got to remember what screws went where. Ooh, Francois says all the traces should be fixed on this 486. I hope. Gave it a wash. Next we'll be checking them for continuity, then UV mask. Excellent. Okay, there we go. There's that screw. Yeah, we'll get this screwed back in, and then I'll get go grab the floppy drives because I need to clean the heads, and then we'll get those back in the case. And found a 5160 on Facebook. Free, sadly. PSU was bad. Actually, probably possible to. Could be possible to fix the power supply. It could also be possible to replace the innards of the power supply with, like, another power supply. Yeah, they're I know some people will actually take an ATX power supply and like shoehorn it into an AT style power supply. It's also possible that all that might be wrong with the power supply is like a capacitor or something like that. Um, in fact, actually, as little current as these older computers use, you could even almost use a Pico PSU. In fact, actually, Deku Nukem on Tindy. Deku Nukem. So like Duke Nukem, but with the letters of Duke flipped around. Deku Nukem makes some Pico PSU adapters, and they have one that would actually work with the 5160 probably. It kind of fits in an ISA slot to distribute power. That a 5160 would probably be one of the ideal computers for that version because they don't need a lot of power compared to others. But yeah, Thomas says the 5150 PSU is easy to fix. So yeah, you might want to check that out. There might be more hope for computers like that 5160 than you think. So definitely worth checking out. The price on it is certainly right. Yeah, you could get something like that Deku Nukem adapter, and it would at least let you use it until you can fix the power supply, or put something in the power supply. Because it would probably work for like a stock 5160. Now, if you're going to add a bunch of expansion cards, you might want to look more into like either fixing the original power supply or like putting something beefier in the power supply. I don't know that I would want to. I don't know that I would want to like draw too much power on the ISA slots, but certainly for a stock 5160, you'd probably be fine. Cutbomb says, I recently got a very early 5150 for free on Facebook. Nice. With the 5151 monitor. Nice. Cutbomb sold it for $900. Super nice. All right. So. Oh, that's my card. I have to put my Trident card in this computer. That won't work. I mean, it would work, but I wouldn't be able to plug the IBM's monitor into it, which would take away part of the charm. I was actually looking for the original parallel card. Alright, so I've put the expansion cards back in their original slots in case there was any nostalgia about where they were. Probably not, but hey, you never know. Alright, so yeah, I occasionally look for like 5160s and 5155s. The 5150 is going to be the IBM PC. The 5155 is the Portable Personal Computer. And the 5160 is the XT. Of course, granted, I have several XT clones that, like, I don't really need an XT, but it'd be cool to have one. Okay, so there we go. So there's the CJ card, the floppy drive, or floppy controller, and the parallel card. Now, I'm going to put the these two new cards down in slots 6 and 7, I believe. Oh wait, do I have the? No, I don't. All right. All right, we'll see you when you get back home, Francois. Drive safe. Doesn't really matter what slots I put these in. In fact, I'm pretty sure both these cards have slot 8 compatibility. At least I think the XTIDE one does. But I'm going to put them in slot 6 and 7 just to be sure. So I will... Yes, there's that. Printed bracket is almost... There we go. But I got it in. It was almost too big. All right. There's this memory card. Excellent. All right. We got the low-tech compact flash card in and the RAM board. All right. Before I do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, welcome, Shahab. I didn't. Sorry. Too slow to read it. Welcome. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to do an intermediate power-up test here. Gutbomb is reminding us that was a very low serial number one. Yes, that would have increased the value of it. If I were looking for a low serial number one, I would probably be willing to pay what a low serial number one goes for. Okay, so let's see here. And we've got... Should have... Didn't plug the keyboard in. Okay, we do have TTL output, and we have output on the monitor. Yay! It is alive. I didn't plug the keyboard in. I just wanted to make sure that I had everything. Okay, I don't have floppy drives connected, so that's the 601 error. 301 is keyboard. Okay. So far, so good. That was just a sanity check before I get the floppy drives out. Oh, Gutbomb says the CPU in the earlier ones has a bug. The BIOS has a max of 512K. They only have 64K on board. The PSU is black. The speaker bracket is metal. The card brackets are chunky. A couple other differences. I don't know that I don't think the original ones came with a hard drive. Although maybe that was an option. No hard drive, yeah. Yeah, actually, the so this low-tech memory card, warm display is warm. That was heat. I was yanking my arm because of warmth, not voltage. I landed my hand somewhere where it was just a little bit warm. So this card actually has the ability to work on a 16K IBM PC board, but they don't recommend it. But it has a jumpered look for. It does have a jumper setting, so you can use it on a 16K IBM PC board, but they don't recommend it because I think potential bus contention. So they recommend that you upgrade your system board to 64K instead. But this memory board will let you do it. But there are caveats. Luckily, this is the portable personal computer is based on the XT, so there's 256K on board. Jack says upgrade in quotes to 64K. There is a card I could get to boot on a micro SD that I think that would be the Pico Mem, but no, we've got a low-tech XT IDE Lite in this, so it's going to boot off of a compact flash card. So, anyways. Alright, let me go grab the floppy drives. Also, it has been 0 days since I spilled isopropyl alcohol onto my workbench. Alright, if you like to see these it would not surprise me if Sinclair wired it weird to make it a total of 16K. But I thought that external module was a 16K external module. It gave, although still, it might have only given you 16K total RAM. I could totally see something odd about the way Sinclair wired it, that you only got 16K, even though the board had 16K on it. Okay, so these are single-sided drives. I am lifting ever so slightly. You don't ever want to bend these up more than just a little bit, because you don't want to deform the spring, but I'm just trying to get the least isopropyl alcohol on the felt pad, because it'll take longer to dry than the heads. Okay, so we got that. I'm also going to lubricate the moving parts here. Okay, that's dielectric grease. That's not the tube I'm looking for. Hold please while I look for my tube of lithium grease. Oh, there it is. Here we go. I'm just going to use some white lithium grease. Jack says, I'm totally not looking on eBay right now. Well, I know when I say I'm totally not looking at eBay right now, I am totally looking at eBay right now. Unless, of course, I say it while I have both hands in camera frame that I am totally not looking on eBay right now. But then again, I still would expect that you all wouldn't believe me then either. As you all probably know, I've got saved searches on eBay looking for things. Yeah, Jack, don't make me send you I bought it on a regret day button. Oh, wait, too late. I probably will at some point. Anyways. Cupom says, I've never been able to get into the Sinclair-based computers. Well, I have one, and it's not the most exciting computer that I own. Oh, don't worry, Jack. I've got a pile of buttons and stickers for you just as soon as I make sure that I have the shipping stuff that I need to send them without them getting destroyed by the Postal Service. Yeah, the Sinclair keyboard was beyond awful. In fact, I think calling the Sinclair keyboard a keyboard might be false advertising. I think it was more like a touchpad or something. All right, that's probably good there. Jack says someone is selling a lot of 4 1000s plus a bunch of other junk accessories for $150. Gupom really wants to get a VIC 20. All right, we gotta. Yeah, Gupom really needs a VIC 20. That's for sure. All right, I think that looks good. Yeah. Once you're employed, yes. All right. There we go. Floppy drives are cleaned and lubricated. The belts are in good shape. I checked those. And I did remember to mark which one was A and which one is B because while they are both jumpered for, I believe, drive select 1, with these older drives, there's usually a terminating pack on them. And with the older drives, it kind of really does matter. Newer drives usually have a terminating pack on them as well, but they're able to, I think they're able to drive through the fact that if you have two drives, they're both terminated. If I remember correctly. Okay, let's get these floppy drives back in the computer so that I can then promptly plug a GoTech in to install DOS. I don't have DOS on 5¼ inch discs. Oh, that's right. Wait, no, these two go in from the front. No, they don't. Okay, I forgot. This is the point where I gotta do this where I can see what I'm doing. But yeah, short of removing the faceplate, which is quite integrated into things, I think these drives have to slide in from the back. And in order to do that, I got to remove the 3 cards in the way. Get the card out. hold, please. I piece of the plot cover broke on that. I'll probably 3D print another one. Although it doesn't really fit. The board is too close to the. There we go. Yeah, broke the bottom of the 3D printed bracket off. It was too tight of a fit for between the board and the case, anyways. I think it was designed for the spacing of a more modern computer where there's a bit more wiggle room between the motherboard and the case. Oh, all right. There's the B drive. There's the A drive. All right. And oh, I bet I know where that screw that I couldn't figure out where it went goes. It goes to the. There's a metal bracket that supports the floppy drives. That's, I believe, where it goes. All right. So let's find the bit that. Find the bit that fits the screws that hold the floppy drives in. It's a hex bit. Thanks, IBM, for being so different. There it is. All right. All right. Well, we'll see you next time. Glad you could stop by Haktua. And, yeah. All right. So, just trying to get these floppy drives in. I'm starting on the side I can more easily reach. The floppy drives are held in by some ridiculously long screws. Okay, that's weird. Oh, okay. All right. So, that. I got 4 screws in on the side you can't see. I just realized I got to remove the floppy controller to get to the other 4 screws. And that, and a spacer. That drive. All right. There's that. Now I got 2 more screws. Then I'll tighten them all up. Unfortunately, I gotta turn this so I can see where the screws go. Well, I think I'm realizing I should have. All right, I'm realizing I made a mistake on this lower drive. I should have put the screws in on the other side before sliding the drive in. Oh, will I get the floppy drives in before the end of the stream? Oh, guess what? I gotta remove the... Oh, wonderful design, IBM. Alright, second time's the charm, maybe? Apparently, to get to the B drive, you have to remove the A drive. Alright. Okay, there's the B drive, or the A drive is out again. So now I should be able to pull the B drive out, put the screws in on this one side, and then slide it back in. Jack says, I think the urge has passed to buy a Timex Sinclair 1000. Whew. I take it the auction ended. Or just the urge ended. Is the auction ending kind of one way I avoid regrets. Even if I'm staring at the bid now screen, I can sometimes talk myself out of it. Alright, I dropped a plastic spacer. And it fell into my pant cuff. That usually doesn't happen. It usually falls on the floor. That time, it fell in my pants cuff, so I was able to get it very easily. Yay. Alright. Get the screw in. Alright, here we go. Let's see here. Now, push the drive in, put that screw in. Forget about that for now. Alright. So B drive's loosely in. B drive back in. I wish it was easier to show you both sides of what I'm working on, but well, I do want to make sure these floppy drives do not fall on the logic board. And that. Eh. Now, let's see if I can get these screwed in, starting with the there we go. Okay, I got the men on this my side. Okay, and now let me tip this back over so I can get the other side. Okay, and tightening the screws up. Oh wait, hold please. I just realized I think I have a wrench. Now, which one it is, I don't remember. Right, it is not 4 millimeters. Hold on, I gotta remove the CGA card. I will have this back in a position where I can work on it where you can see it momentarily, and I will be able to see the chat. Fortunately, the floppy drives are just... There we go. All right. The ZX81 was branded as the Timex Sinclair 1000 in the US. Yeah. Okay. There's something I forgot to put in, and I'm hoping I don't regret it. It'll be fun to get it back in the logic board, that's for sure. All right. I think... All right. Well, at least the speaker only goes in one way. Yeah, I'd already had the floppy drives in partway when I realized that I had forgotten all about the speaker. Unfortunately, I have this feeling the connector is underneath the floppy drives. All right. There's that. And the speaker cable goes up through there, I believe. And it plugs in. Oh, there it is. It's like right. Oh, no, not under the floppy drives. Okay, we're good. The speaker cable is right go. All right, let's get these cards back in and hopefully I won't have to pull them out again. All right, so we got the CGA card. Even though the 5155 has a monochrome screen, still had CGA graphics. You can always plug it into an external monitor for color, composite, or TTL. I don't know if they had 9-inch color CRTs back when they built this thing, and if they did, I don't probably want to know how much they would have cost, because they would have probably been a very premium CRT if they even existed in 9-inch format. The Color Classic would have been early to mid 90s with its 9-inch Sony Trinitron, so something tells me that yeah, something tells me that if it had been available for IBM to put in the portable personal computer, that this thing could have cost like what? A lot. Trying to get the ribbon cable to go back in the case the way it was. There we go. Okay, like I was never even in here, other than I signed the board after I recapped it. Oh. There we go. Ah, good night, Francois. That Dex says, according to Wikipedia, Flight Simulators was one of 4 cartridge titles made for the Timex Sinclair 1000, and it took 12 minutes to load from a cartridge. Google got bombed. Pointing got bomb says law from a cartridge. Jack says, good thing it wasn't on a tape. Francois says, oh dear. Got bomb's asking Francois, are you a vampire? To which Francois says, starting to wonder. I am trying to get this thing back together. At least so we can make sure it powers up. Because I'll have to load software later. Alright, let's see if I can't put this in. Oh, well. Okay, well, that bracket, well, I'll have to reprint the bracket for the card. Because it just, like, broke. Oh, wait. How about I just steal the... I'll steal the bracket off another one I have. Okay, let me go. Oh, actually, that bracket will fit. Okay, so actually the bracket I am stealing will actually fit a lot better. So, because it's thinner. So actually what I'm going to do... Unfortunately, the other bracket is of a type that I don't think I'm going to get it off the other card. So for now, I'm going to swap EEPROMs. And the reason I did that is because the EEPROM on the other card is not the one for the IBM. Just say it's for a computer that's a bit more special. All right, hold please while I find the screw I dropped. Or, well, thought I fell on the workbench, but I don't see it on my workbench. So I must have. Or maybe it is still on my workbench. Maybe it's under the. Oh, there it is. False alarm. Can I find the screw you dropped too? I don't see it, Jack. I don't see it. Also, I ordered some stuff from Hacko, and it was the level where I got to pick a free gift. So I picked up, this isn't the one that's in the box I haven't opened yet, but I picked up another one of these flashlights so that hopefully I'll at least know where one is. Because it's really cool. It's got a magnet on one end. And it's telescopic. Telescopic. All right. Thomas says anything I drop can run across the room. Well, sometimes I think anything I drop enters a interdimensional portal and is to never be seen again. It's like in the mirror universe or something. Maybe I don't know, the Kelvin universe. All right, so I've got all the cards in. I got the floppy drives in. The floppy drives are lubricated. They're hooked up. I got the XT-CF light in. I apparently can't insert a compact flash card. Oh, there we go. Got it. All right. Oh, I will plug the... I'll plug the TTL in. There we go. All right. So 3, 2, 1. Should have plugged the keyboard in so I can at least press F1. All right, let me go grab the actual keyboard that goes with this All right, the cord on it's sticky. I'll have to work on trying to get some of the stickiness off when I clean the outside of the case. There we go. Keyboard is connected. So hopefully, there we go. No 301 error. Excellent. While we wait for this to count up, I'm seeing a unit final test sticker on the side of this. I'm thinking it might be for the whole computer. And it looks like this computer went through final test. Assuming it's for the computer and not the power supply, but I suspect it's for the computer. September 19th, 1984 at 7:41:31 a.m. It passed final test. No errors. Hey, and there we go. We seeked on the floppy drives, and then there was our XT and it's not going to boot from that card because I don't have DOS on it. So that is where I am going to have to leave it for tonight. I was kind of hoping that I would get it all the way back together, but, well, had a few technical difficulties there, but did at least get all the cards in, floppy drives are in, and it's back together, and so far I haven't found any extra screws, so that's a win. So, you like the fact that we have a nice IBM Portable Personal Computer with new tantalum caps, 640K of RAM thanks to a TexElec memory upgrade board, and I'll adjust the upper memory regions because some programs can use that. But I'll do that after I can actually get into DOS and run check it and confirm where ROMs are on the system. But yeah, so I suspect that some of the things I need to do to this system, like just install some software, I may do that during Dave's stream on Sunday, just so I can maybe try to get this computer to a point where I can like get it back to my coworker and get paid. So there, because I also need to kind of scrub the case down with some simple green or something like that, and I'll probably do that during Dave's stream because I think the fans are saying in the chat that we need to do something about the following.
Why buy just a video game from Atari or Intellivision? Invest in the wonder computer of the 1980s for under $300. The Commodore VIC-20. Unlike games, it has a real computer keyboard. With the Commodore VIC-20, the whole family can learn computing at home. Plays great games, too. Under $300, the wonder computer of the 1980s, the Commodore VIC-20.
Coming soon, Commodore brings you Gorf, the Wonder Arcade game, and Omega Race in home versions. Commodore.
So yeah, definitely make sure you smash that like button if you like the thought of another VIC-20 stream very soon. Smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications so that you'll know when I go live next, because it could be that VIC-20 stream. But of course, I've got other fun things to work on, like the $12 12 megahertz XT clone board that the keyboard doesn't work on, or other Commodores like the 128 I picked up, or hey, even an industrial PC, which I do need to get back to soon. So I haven't quite decided on what to work on next Tuesday, but I could be convinced to crack open that VIC-20. In fact, I may just do it, because even if I run into a wall of not having parts to get that VIC-20 up and running, I do have some a Commodore 64 that I need to open the keyboard up on. So, oh, that's right. Jeremy was saying the cute little 386. Thomas says there could be a keyboard fuse on that model. Yes, that's right. I was thinking of looking at the cute little 386. Well, there we go. I think I've got the two streams for next week. So one, I think we'll do a VIC-20 stream, and the other one, we'll do the cute little 386. Although, actually, that little XT clone board is right beside me, I believe. Is there a keyboard fuse on it? I see some resistors. I see a capacitor. I do see a fuse. There is a fuse marked on the board, but I do not see the fuse present on the board. In fact, I'm not even sure there was a fuse there. But yeah, maybe someone removed the fuse and didn't replace it. That is entirely possible. Well, anyways, they look like resistors. Well, it could be one of the resistors that's acting as a fuse. But yeah, there is a component F1 near the keyboard, and it's not populated. So that could very well be the problem. Maybe one of these resistors is acting as the fuse. Anyways, yeah, we might yeah, we'll have to look at this board soon too. Anyways, maybe next week we'll do the VIC-20 and the Qt 386 PC. Of course, I can always maybe really quickly take a look at this XT board as well, because if it's a fuse, then it should be easy to track down. Because I would like to see it actually maybe boot. But anyways, yeah. Anyways, though, if you happen to run into the stream somehow, even though that motherboard is not in the thumbnail, and you've got one of those XT12 motherboards, I will submit the photos and the BIOS dump to the RetroWeb so that at least they can update that page. So at least there is a BIOS and better photos for that board. So that's a win. So I guess at least for the $12, for the chance to archive the BIOS, get some photos of the board, and at least I got a V20 processor. I think for $12, I probably didn't do too bad on it. I'm still not saying exactly how much I spent on the Pet Keys VIC-20 because I'm not sure whether or not I really got a good deal or a bad deal. I'm going to wait until I have it fully running, and then I'll admit to how much I paid for it. So its regret score is going to be determined whenever Justin feels like admitting how much I paid for it. Of course, the enterprising could just go ask eBay, but I'll leave that as an activity to the viewer. Anyways, it is now 12:12 a.m. I do have to work tomorrow. I at least, though, am glad I could end the stream on a happy note that the IBM Portable Personal Computer has a nice selection of recapped original cards, as well as the parallel card that was totally fine, and then our XTCF Lite and our low-tech, or our 1 megabyte card. So, and then the floppy drives are in. Yes, so many cards. Yes, there are so many cards. I am just happy that it works great. So anyways, if you've got any games that are fun to play on a portable personal computer, let me know in the comments, because I'll probably have to load a few up so that my coworkers' kids have something to try out. I have a box of discs that came with the system that I need to inspect the discs at some point. I may be doing that on Dave's stream too. So I will take those as hints of other things I can put on the computer. I'll have to see how old her kids are. Depending on the age range, we may skip poker, but I'll check to see how old the kids are. That is probably a good question before I pick a bunch of games and then find out the age range is wrong. But anyways, I'm glad you all got to hang out with me. Glad we had some fun with Wheel of Regrets. And then we got the IBM a pretty good amount of the way put back together. It practically is, I've got an RF shield to go, and then I could put the outer case back on. So I will, though, leave that shield off until I got software installed, because I may have to put a GoTech on this temporarily to get DOS installed, because I don't have DOS on 5 1/4 inch discs, and I don't really feel like writing 12,000 DOS discs to install DOS, because these are just 360K drives. So that I'll probably use a GoTech to get DOS installed, and then once I got DOS installed on this machine, then I can pull the compact flash card out to copy programs on another computer. But I at least want to get the DOS installed on this computer so that the partition table's right on the compact flash card. But anyways, so thanks for hanging out with this. Jack says, but you're missing out on the authentic experience of installing for mini floppies. All right, tell you what, Jack, I will do that on one of my own computers. Since I am doing this for someone else, I will not go through that fun for it so that I can get this computer back to them sooner rather than later. We'll do the install from floppies on one of my computers, yes, on a stream or something. Jack says, okay, fair. All right, so anyways, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for tagging along for this IBM repair. Looks like I am on the home stretch, which is great. So anyways, hope to see you all here next time. And I got to make sure I've clicked the right button this time. Almost clicked this button earlier in the stream. I was like one off from it, but now I've got my finger on the correct place. And unfortunately this time, this is the correct button, unlike near the beginning of the stream. Anyways, take care and God bless. Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon and by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you've liked what you've seen, subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss the next video or live stream. And as always, thank you for all your support. I hope to see you next time. And until then, take care.